All right, good evening, gents. It is episode 6, and y'all survived your first mission of cleansing your home planet, and now you're out on your first real-world mission. So first, I think this episode we're just gonna do a general. The word is that we're all general recruiters for the chaplain course. So today's message is just the chaplain course. So I've gotten a few chats in the Twitch stream and a couple other people about, hey, I want to be a chaplain, or hey, I'm a Muslim, or I'm Wiccan. What do I do? And I'm in the army. You go to your chaplain. That's it. Our job is to facilitate. Either we provide or we supply. So if you are, we just finished Ramadan, so obviously everyone's locked down, so you weren't doing too much during Ramadan. But if you had needed some type of accommodation, you'd go to your chaplain, no matter if they were Jewish, if they were Roman Catholic, if they were Anglican, if they were evangelical Lutheran, doesn't matter. You go to them and they will actually provide, and they can set up space for you. So if you want to serve as a chaplain, you can go to the goarmy.com and go to the chaplain site. And I think it's a really cool calling. You can always set up as a chaplain candidate and go through seminary as a officer, kind of learn the ropes like I did, and then you can assess. So all those going to the June board, God bless, and have fun with the process next week. All those sitting on the board, and pick me. It's okay. You can pick me. All right. So that is our public service announcement. Is if you're thinking about going to the Army Chaplain Corps, we serve all faiths and we serve all soldiers, regardless of the faith. All right. So, gentlemen, you all arrive. Oh. Where is Tabletop Simulator? Tabletop Simulator is not wanting to show up today. It's on a strike. It says, you know what? I'm over it. I'm just a little tired. So, there we go. Tabletop Sim. All right, there we go. All right, so you awaken to the dropship, obviously coming to a full stop on the launch pad, and you all have arrived at the wheel, or broken wheel. So what it is you all have been traveled. We've kind of fast forward the jump process for those of you familiar with BattleTech. I'm sure you all understand we can have a lot of fun during it, but we as a group fast forwarded through that. That's what last week was. Episode Dropship was last week, where everybody was asleep. All right, so you guys arrived on, the planet is called Broken Wheel, and you're in FedCom space. So during your transit, you learn that the planet, the original intel was in Mark space, but because they were worried that there was moles, maybe Nancy Prudent wasn't the only spy, you were then got your orders in the dropship that you're actually going to Fed space. So you're in the Federated Sun space. You've arrived on planet Broken Wheel, and the main planet center is called a town called Tombstone. Now, the planet is made up of 2 different continents, and they're mainly desert. So think, the Wild Wild West is kind of the theme of where we're going. It's a very technologically limited planet, but there's a lot of rich minerals, and there's a lot of exploitable resources on here. Tombstone is a population of roughly about 20,000 people, and it can expand during peak season to almost 100,000 during like the rush. But mainly people are out in groups of 500, maybe 1,000 at the different mines or around the different plants that kind of surround Tombstone. Since fuel is not a big commodity, energy is around, but there's mainly solar power. So people actually still do utilize horses, and they do use kind of old, ancient technology, such as water collection and solar power to power obviously their batteries are way better than what we have, but they're powering most of their town through various natural resources. Income is very low. Most people are there to work for a couple years. But the main call, the main kind of like work request was there's a contact. He is anonymous, and he is reporting that there's slavery and there's some type of sex trafficking going on the planet. And he petitioned the Fed Sons to help out. The Fed Sons being, a massive, kingdom, they kind of put it on the back burner. But this contact at the Fed Sons cycled it to you all, and so you all were kind of able to get that, and that's how you arrive here. So you arrive here, you're undocked, and so it's up to you. You guys want to unload your battle mechs and kind of walk it down Main Street, or however you want to proceed. It's the opening scene.
Would we unload our battle mechs? Why is the fencing starting the cow fencing?
What?
The fence around around the cows. You can actually mouse over. It's labeled fencing.
Fencing.
Oh, okay, that's actually funny.
So what do you guys want to do with you guys want to walk down Main Street with your battle mechs? You guys want to do kind of a combination? It's up to you.
Well, I think we can leave the mechs standby for now.
I'm not feeling any burning desire to bring the mech out.
Yeah, we don't want to cause too much attention on this.
Okay. Yeah, so then you're able to disembark. As you guys kind of walk out onto the main platform, there is a refueling station for dropship. There's a large fuel tank. There's some cracked ferrocrete. There's maybe some old hover vehicles. But mainly what you're looking at is the Tuscan sun and the Tuscan desert in front of you, and you can kind of see the town maybe about 1.5 miles, 2 miles up the way. But right now, as it stands, there is what looks like a control center. It's concrete, obviously, to withstand the blasts of dropships. And behind that is a little bit of old barbed wire fencing, and you can kind of see a few cattle intermixed in there. But other than that, there's really nothing around you.
What do you gents want to do?
Knock on the door of the command center?
Sounds good.
Yeah, sure. So as you gotta knock on there,
Yeah.
you hear what sounds like maybe a cup dropping or someone like gruffling. This guy comes to the door, and he's got some overalls on, and he's got his name written in marker across his his lapel that says Earl, and he's got a big wad of dip, and he's like, "Well, what the money brought in now? What can I do for you, money bags?" And he kind of spits, and a bunch of it is still drooling down his mouth.
Jeez.
Classy.
Yeah.
I actually cannot help but, the look of disgust on my face is like, oh my gosh, what the heck?
So you're not gonna hide it at all?
This is not a character that tends to. I mean, we are talking a fairly low charisma here, so.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. Yeah. I kind of cringe a little bit, like, oh my gosh, that's.
He kind of looks at you, and he looks over at the rest of you. He goes, "Well, you got a real city boy here," and he spits a big glob out, and then takes out his tin and kind of gives it a few quick good snaps, and then takes out a huge wad. And he's like, "You want some?"
Sure. Why not? I'm always down for a good drink or a fight.
And he looks over at you, kind of like, "You just ruined my whole thing." And he hands the tin, and then he puts a big, huge wad, and kind of, and as he's kind of getting it working in, he takes it and does the farmer, with his nose, like covers one nostril and blows out snot. Well, I was
Yummy.
told to expect a drop ship, but I didn't expect one that big. What you all hauling?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I mean, is it obviously like a military dropship that we're in? Or
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you got markings of your, I mean, there's company markings. I mean, yeah, it's branded. I mean, it's got a big Knight logo. It's in your colors, and Alpha.
Officially, we're reporting to deal with an issue that we've been apprised of concerning some indentured servitude and/or human trafficking. We're specifically here to deal with that issue.
Well, shoot, I've been trying to do that for years. That's why I'm an independent operator. I work for nobody. So that's why I opened here this spaceport. See, my cattle's over there. And I reckon this will be a good investment when those quick sale, who are definitely the corporate greedy people, and you know what them corporate people doing. They've been putting everybody into slavery by making them work and judging what they do. Now, let's talk about your docking fee here. That'll be I'd say about 1 million sea bells with that big old behemoth there. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, we're going to contact our supply officer and have him wire you the credits. If that's a thing. I believe
Yeah,
it should
yeah.
be, right?
Yeah, definitely. Well,
I'm sure it'll take a little bit of time to get that through the channels, though.
all right. Well, I'm gonna have to tow that vehicle of yours off and put it in my impound.
Well, I mean, I don't know how. Out of character, I'm. It's like, okay, space telecom, getting back and forth to
And he's
our
looking like dead serious, like
leadership.
like you will, like he'll tow it somehow. Giant,
kind of
Nice tow truck.
hundreds of thousands of tons, and he's gonna tow it. So
I'd advise it. Is the dropship armed? I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah.
sir, I'd advise against trying that. The dropship captain probably won't like it. Might
Man,
make
I
that
got a
displeasure
way, I
known.
reckon, of treating the dropship captains to where they kind of turn on to my side, because they're just like me. They're usually a businessman.
Yes, they are. Well, good luck with that, Earl.
All right, I'll wait for that money. And so it's easily like you're able to contact Francis, or and he's able to wire the money and pay the docking fee. Well, have a fun walk back into town, because unless you got a vehicle, you ain't got no ride.
You got a ride? I might have a few
I live here.
pennies. You don't. Oh, no, you live here. All right. How about those horses or cattle? We could ride them in, right?
You could ride them horses for
How about something slightly recent, with like an engine in it, and possibly
Well,
even some
I
wheat?
got a young foal, but he's too young to ride. But I got about 9 horses out back on the other side of the hill in the horse barn. Y'all could rent those for the time you're here if you'd like.
You do have like actual motor vehicles on this planet, right?
Well, I reckon some people do. We got one over there. It don't run no more.
Yes, it looks like a rusted out Model T or something.
Yeah, it's like a hover vehicle that's not hovering anymore, and it's kind of angled to the left. There's some barrels under it, like kind of like a lift stand, like something you would see in, that yard with overgrown grass. Except there's not really grass around here. It's mainly just dust.
It's just up on blocks and rusted out.
There's a hornet's nest under the hood.
Exactly.
If not in the vehicle itself.
And there's a raccoon that lives in the driver's seat. Oh man, yeah. So yeah, you're able to get horses. Everyone, there's saddles and stuff if you want to walk over to the barn and get horses.
It might be a
I'm
fun
gonna
little trip.
grab one.
Yeah, so you walk over the hill and you actually see this ridiculously nice barn that's got a tack area, about 15 stalls with really pretty horses, and there is a lady in there who she's about mid-20s. She is a more dark complexion from either tan or maybe her Terran ancestors, maybe were Hawaiian or maybe Pacific. You can't really tell, but she's fairly beautiful. And she kind of looks up and she's like, "Can I help you?"
We're here for some horses. We just rented it from the fine gentleman named Earl inside.
Isn't he just the handsomest man on town?
He sure is, miss.
All right, that'll be 100 apiece, and I'll get you all suited up. Now, who's got some riding experience?
Oh, I don't know. Nah, I don't think I've ever ridden a horse.
All right. Who would, in BattleTech, why would you need horses?
If somebody actually picked that as a skill, that would be the most amazing thing.
I think I do actually have. I grew up on a farm and I have animal empathy,
Oh, bro, if you got that, that's going to be awesome.
so I might actually It doesn't say what kind of farm, but if anyone does, I might know more about horses than anyone than how to
Yeah.
ride horses.
I would say, yeah, you
Also,
could.
why my character does not want to ride on horses.
So,
Because
yeah.
I have character. I have ridden on horses. It's not fun.
Dude, riding horses is awesome.
Yeah, that's the best.
Until you get bucked off.
Well, well, I mean, it happens, but it's still awesome.
Well, that's
to
what
ride a
happens
horse.
when you roll the snake eyes with the animal empathy.
Right.
Your piloting skill failed on the horse. So yeah, so she links you up with really good tame horses, and she points you the way to town, and you can ride in. Now, for everybody but Felix, right? Yeah, or no, Lance. Everyone
I
but
was gonna-
Michael. You're gonna need
For
to
everyone who doesn't
roll.
have the animal empathy skill, you mean?
Yeah, you're gonna if it's is it a skill or is it a Q?
It's a trait, and it gives me like a point in animal handling.
Okay, yeah, so you'll just do that and plus your reflex. The rest of you just give me a reflex throw. Let's see how crazy. We're gonna leave the horses' craziness up to chance.
All right, well, 11.
Okay, you got to beat a 3. That was a weak roll.
Well,
Yeah,
these
7.
I would say these are at least partially domesticated
Yeah.
horses. So, I mean, reflex, that's 14.
Okay, did anybody fail?
No.
No.
Dang it. So, in typical Western movie fashion, you
Half
know,
expecting him to rip up another script.
Clint Eastwood comes out, from the sun. You guys roll into a town of which y'all can see, on the screen here. And for those watching, we'll kind of zoom into the main town. So the first thing you notice as you roll into town is that there's a cow pen actually in the town. And then amongst the town, it's basically it's about a half mile. Obviously, it's not pictured here to real scale. A half a mile or so, you've got your inns, you got your saloons, you've got a couple banks, you've got a few other businesses like the barber and general goods. But it is literally at this point, it's like ancient times of ancient Western Terra. So you guys kind of come rolling in on your horses in your regular mech warrior garb or whatever you guys want to be wearing. And
Yeah, we don't stick out at all.
yeah. And as you get into town, people are dressed, like they live in a hot climate weather. So people have wide brim hats. Some of them are more that ancient Terra Western look. Some of them got more of the Middle Eastern type of long clothes so that it stays nice and cool, light colors. But the main town, you see a few parked hover vehicles, but for the most part, you see horses, you see donkeys, and you see a couple hover bikes, and then you see maybe a few actual like tracked vehicles that are more along the lines of maybe someone drove it in or they're used for some type of excavating. But you have one building that stands out that it's a very modern looking building in the sense of it's got glass panels, it's got I-beam construction, but it looks chintzy. So give me a perception roll and beat a 10, and let's see if you guys can tell. If you have anything like architecture or like military buildings.
I mean, you said we needed to beat a 10?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay.
So
And I
14.
assume we're adding at least intellect.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a 12, so that beats a 10.
Okay.
Yeah, 12 here too.
Cool. Yeah, so this building sticks out like a sore thumb. It definitely looks like it's made. It's a more modern facility. But it's cheaply made. You can kind of tell that it was maybe not the most well designed. It's well put together one. It looks like it may have had a great design, but it's like when you buy something and then you put it together from IKEA and you realize how chintzy it is.
Kind of like the difference between a corporate HQ versus an insurance company's HQ.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, it's a outpost. So so you guys, as you guys kind of walk into town here, you're able to kind of just go where you want, or I can really quickly throw the advanced storyline at you.
It's up to you guys. You guys noticed the building, right? Because I don't.
Yeah, I mean, nothing else in the town looks that interesting.
No, I'd say we could always do the traditional thing and go swing by the saloon and ask about rumors and gossip and see what's going on.
That almost seems like a pretty good idea.
Always a fun thing.
Because I think that's going to be where we're going to find out anything about the human trafficking.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to. Well, do you want to? There's two saloons: the Red Dog and then the Big Eats Diner.
So the Red Dog has got a lot of more action happening. People are walking in on it. You can hear music playing. You can hear the crowd cheering. The other one is a little bit more timid. You kind of see, it looks like people are in there going in and out to eat. They're nicer, a little bit nicer dressed in there.
Wait, the one that has beer, whiskey, and girls on the sign is the tamer one?
I didn't see this. I didn't look that detailed into them. What? Let me see.
I'd say maybe the one that's not creating as much noise would probably be a little shadier. Because you have some backroom deals that you can hear each other talk,
Yeah, the Red Dog Saloon. I didn't notice that was. Yeah, but the Red Dog Saloon is definitely the more happening place. The saloon is a little bit more uppity scale. I mean, for a Western town.
Well, let's go in the busy one.
Red
The
Dog?
big one.
All right.
Yeah, I'll hit the diner.
All right. So you all roll into the salon, and kind of sitting back at the front of the door is a guy, and he's got an old, slug thrower, and he's got a big scar across his face, and he goes, "I help you, gentlemen. It's a $5 5C bill cover to get into here." And he kind of points to a jar with some money in it.
You're going to charge a cover for this crap hole? Listen, pal. Just here for a drink. So I'm going to go to that bar and get me a drink.
I'll tell you what. You're a brave man for saying that in my town.
Amazing how everyone thinks it's their town.
Tell you what. You buy a round for the bar, and your whole little crew gets in for free.
The bar. No. No, I'll buy a round for my boys here. But no. I'll buy you a drink. I'm
Well,
not buying a drink for everybody.
hot dog, let's go. And he lines in, and as he walks in, he kind of saunters in as you guys kind of open the gates. I mean, just there's like a haze of, excuse me. There's a haze of smoke. There's you can hear a piano playing in the background. People are gambling. People are screaming and yelling and hollering. And he walks up to the bar, and he kind of looks off, and he's like, kind of goes up to the bartender. The bartender looks at him. Is like, "Well, Scar, what do you need?" And Scar looks at him, and he's like, "Give me the usual." And he kind of looks over, and he kind of winks at the other bartender, who is a female, and she kind of walks over with a bottle of whiskey, pours him a whiskey, and he's like, "Thanks, Roxy. You always pour the nicest whiskey, if you know what I mean." And he just downs the whiskey, and then he goes back out to the porch.
Cool. Roxy, I'll take the same.
Oh, well, I reckon this is going to be a fun day for you gentlemen then. And she pours you a tall whiskey.
Jesus Christ.
And let me tell you, that whiskey, you're going to need to give me a roll when you drink it. You let me know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the old standby of hydrogen hydroxide.
Yeah, no, I think my character's going to want to drink at this point.
Okay.
I tell Roxy
Big
just
swig. And I rolled a 9.
All right. What'd you
This is a roll of what?
just give me your either reflex or strength. Let's go with strength. This is just straight up body.
So 13.
Okay.
6.
And Timothy?
yeah, I tell her just to leave the bottle.
She laughs and she's like, "You're a cute one."
And I got a 6. To be fair, I'm still drunk from the dropship. So
So you
And I'm
take,
intentionally trying to get drunk,
you
so
take the whiskey,
success.
and it's less whiskey, more moonshine with, maybe aged in some type of wood. But
That's right. I said it was going to.
it's horrible. It is the worst crap you've ever tasted. And it burns your tongue. Oh, like you get that salt burn feeling after you drink like a really harsh alcohol?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have that across your whole mouth and it's numb. Both of you two.
Ugh.
Jacob, what did you roll?
It was the strength, right?
Yeah.
So 13.
Okay. Yeah, you take it. It's disgusting and vile, but you feel definitely a buzz after just one shot.
Whew.
So,
That's pretty good, Roxy. Thank you.
What you boys in town for? You here for the rush?
The rush.
Well, Quicksell is buying everything up. All the minerals and all the mining and even the plants are online now, making real good parts, I heard.
Anything for sale that's not a resource?
Well, whiskey and, horses and vehicles and parts. What you looking for?
Anything you wouldn't normally find at a market.
Oh, if you mean girls, if you want to go on down to the brothel, you could go ahead and, if that's what you mean, ask for Ginger. She's a nice lady.
Thank you, Roxy.
No, you betcha. By the way, that'll be 15 sea bills for the bottle.
Could have swore Scar, the guy out front, he said he was going to take care of our round.
Honey, Scar is one of the dumbest human beings I've ever met. He has got about 5 credits to his name at any time. Did he try to make you pay for it to get in here?
It was worth a shot.
Yeah,
No,
that's his money in that jar. Ain't nobody paying him except new people. And it turns out, y'all didn't fall for it.
Don't worry, I'll take care of his drink. Here's 25 bills. I'm sure I could have that on me.
Yeah, you would have. Yeah, I mean, you guys have a couple hundred.
Yeah.
So you guys are able to either hang around the bar. There's a couple poker games going on. There's a billiards pool table sitting around there, and then basically, if you look at it, it's a big, huge rectangle room, and in the center is a rectangle bar, and then you've got poker tables on one side, a couple pool tables on the back, a couple little area where the piano's playing, and people are just sitting around tables drinking and talking, and up top there is what appears to be basically like rooms of where you could stay and live, or at least sleep it off so you can get drunk and then go up to your rooms. But at this point, you do not have. I mean, you can stay on the dropship if you want, but it's whatever halves you.
Oh, we'll see what the
I'm
The
just going to be sitting in the
weekend
bar
takes us.
contemplating as to whether or not the whiskey is better than being on the planet, or which is worse, getting drunk on this whiskey or being sober on this planet.
Probably the whiskey.
I'll personally probably try and stay on the dropship if at all possible.
Okay. All right. So yeah.
It can be fun out here.
While you're looking around, there's actually everyone give me a perception check.
Do we get any penalties?
For those that got drunk, yes, it's just a -1.
All right.
8.
13.
10.
Elf.
No one, everyone beat a 7.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, he's not that bright of a guy anyway. You kind of see this beanpole of a guy in the corner near the billiards, and he's got a cue kind of sitting there, and he's got basically a big old beer in his hand, and he's got kind of a smoke hanging off from his lip, and he's just glaring at you like somebody that's just like, I can beat up anybody, and y'all, screw y'all.
My kind of gentleman.
And he's just glaring, and he's smoking, and he puts his beer down, takes a big long drag of his smoke, and then goes and takes a shot, and then after his shot, goes back to his beer. Anyone rolled over a 13?
I rolled a 13.
A 13?
No.
Okay. You may notice, like, he looks over at somewhere, but you can't pick up exactly where he looked at. But it looks like he might be with somebody or something of that nature.
Well, I'm gonna walk straight up to him and say, "Looks like you're noticing something with me and my friends. Is there an issue, or do we need to have a drink together and have a chat?"
Well, I've never turned down a drink. But, yeah, I've been wondering what you boys in your fancy clothes are doing in my town.
You call these clothes fancy?
Well, you're not from corporate,
Well,
and I didn't hire you. So you're here for either trouble or you're trying to make a claim.
Well, we're not here for trouble per se. We're
not looking to start trouble,
That's true.
So this
but
is
we'll be happy to end it for those who want to start trouble.
So you guys can metagame this, but are you guys wearing any, like, Knights Lead the Way patches or any type of uniform?
They're just
Say
in a
whatever you
standard
want. I should have clarified
jumpsuit,
it.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, you could be in your jumpsuits.
I'm assuming if we came in on the dropship that has our logo and stuff on it, we probably wouldn't be. We're not trying to be covert here, so I'd probably have whatever insignia or stuff would be on my gear normally.
Okay.
Same
Nice.
here. I would be fully I probably would have normal military designations on my uniform at this point.
Okay. I assume so. I forgot to
Yeah.
clarify that. There was no be covert in the mission order. So as you guys are kind of standing there, he goes, "Now how about them drinks?"
How about them? Yo, Roxy,
Oh, no.
get around me over here for the boys.
Yeah, Roxy, you're making a double. Uh-huh.
For all of us.
And she brings over like a
Just make sure to
beer,
make mine water.
and she brings a beer to him, and the beer it smells like those, like super hoppy. Maybe are they still brewing in the cup? Type where like you can almost smell the yeast.
A little chunky.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And then, and then the rest of the guys at the table that are playing the table, there's about 4 of them. They're all kind of, squatty looking dudes. Nothing notable about them. And they drink up. They raise their glasses to you all, and then they sip, and then they continue the game. So Worm who's closest to Worm? So if you were to Worm's against the wall with a little pub table to his left, where his drink's at, and he's got his cue in his right hand, and he's drinking and smoking with the same left hand.
Is Worm the guy we're talking to?
Yeah, Worm. Yeah, oh yeah, his name's Worm.
Then I'd assume I'd be the closest one.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I'm still at the bar.
what are y'all doing here then with them fancy clothes on?
We're, on a little vacation, looking to purchase some things, help a gentleman out, help a lady out, this and that.
Interesting. Well, I reckon you might be here for the company. Are you secretly trying to check up on us?
Yeah. You caught us. See if I can lie to him.
Okay.
And Felix is still at the bar.
Yeah.
Felix is consuming his water at the bar. Yes.
Said the intelligence, right?
Either charisma
Or
and
charisma.
plus
Okay.
intelligence. I mean, charisma plus any bonus, or intelligence plus a bonus, whichever one you got.
So we'll go with charisma, which is a 1. Not the best liar out there, guys.
That's okay.
But I got a total of 11.
Okay, let's see, I rolled 5. He got a 3. He has -2 to his intelligence. Not very smart.
Jeez.
Well, if you are from the company, let me just tell y'all right now that Bull is doing a good job, and we don't need no more protection because ain't no trouble here. Okay?
Hey, man, don't get all jumpy. All on the same team.
Okay. Now, the new plant is online, and you can go guard that if you really need something to go guard. But don't be coming in my mines and busting up my people and trying to, oh, I gotta check them for guns. They ain't got guns. I know they do. Now, y'all need to go check in. Otherwise, you're going to be hell to pay if Sonny don't know that you're here from the company. All right, now we're going to finish here our game, and y'all go do what you got to do.
Thank you so much for your time. Worm, right?
Worm, because I
Worm.
burrow in the earth like a
That is an
worm.
amazing name.
Mhm.
Enjoy your drinks, boys. And I'm going to try to leave without paying. Just stick them with the bill.
Give me Give me a charisma roll.
All right. Come on.
Let's see.
9.
Roxy. Roxy, who has no stats. Let me just make a.
She
Roxy.
has no stats. Quick, somebody fight her.
Actually, you don't need to worry about that. I'll cover the cost.
All right. So Roxy.
I mean, he can walk out. I'm just saying I'll cover the cost. I kind of, if I need to make a perception check to notice that he's trying to do this, I can do that. But I mean, come on. We're supposed to be leading the way here.
Yeah, but these guys are trafficking people. They can cover the cost of the drink.
Yeah.
So I've had
We
way
don't
more
know
of
that.
whiskey.
We don't know that. Do you have evidence that these are the actual traffickers?
Let's call it a gut feeling.
Yeah.
Sounds guilty.
Just saying.
So you guys are So you notice that Ironhead continues to walk towards the door without the bill. You flip the bill, you'll get a point of edge, or basically like I'd hand out a poker chip if we were in person. So you can use that to re-roll. You can add an extra die to your roll. You can kind of do it to just magically have something if you need it.
You're saying that to me
Yeah,
as far
to-
as the edge point?
You,
Okay.
Yeah, as the player. So
Okay.
it's an extra point of edge that you can use if you don't have any, or if you have some, you can add to it. So yeah, Roxy kind of looks at you. She thanks you, and she, is a little enamored by you because you got some money. It seems like you can kind of tell she probably looks like she's born and raised here. She knows no different. And she's like, "You have a fine day now."
Thank you for the water.
I wouldn't drink it.
Ordinarily, I wouldn't either, probably. I kind of mumble that under my breath, but
So you guys walk out. It's about an hour or two later. So it's really hot. I mean, it's pretty warm out here. I'd say it's getting up to probably about 100 degrees. It's a dry heat, so it's not too overwhelming. But yeah, so you were able to go where you want. You still got there's the fancier kind of dining area that's a saloon. There's a building down the street. It's called Doc's. It's not dentist only, but it's Doc's doctor. It's medical. And then you see a sheriff's office. You see the glass building, and then the various banks and a few other things that are just you would see in a typical Western setting.
Does the fancy building have any sort of sign or anything on it, or it's just there?
It's just there. It looks like there's maybe an armed guard in the inner door, sitting on a stool that you can tell, obviously, but nothing without a perception check.
Well, can I make a perception check to
See,
see if there's a nameplate or something?
yeah, go for it. I'd say if you get about a 12 or above, you might be able to see some type of naming.
Perception is intelligence plus the perception skill, right?
Yep.
Okay, that would actually be. Do I still get the -1 from drinking?
Did you continue to drink, or was it just the one?
I think maybe I drank a little bit more, not a ton.
I kept pouring him for him, but I don't know how much he drank.
How much of the bottle? I'd say you still got the -1 then, because you guys are still. You're
Okay, so if it's just the -1, then yeah, that's 12.
the cloud was still pouring them pretty deep. All right, what'd you get?
12 if with the -1.
All right, yeah. So you're able to actually notice, like in the lower corner, it's basically it's called a quick cell, and you can kind of see the emblem that it kind of sounds familiar. Like it's if you have knowledge like military equipment or anything like that, or repairs, you might know, but I don't know if you have that.
Yeah, I have knowledge military vehicle.
Okay, yeah, so you have military vehicle. Okay, that'll work. Yeah, so you recognize it as the Quick Sell Company, which is pretty much
That explains why it's shoddily put together.
it's a junky company that basically you think about the stuff that you buy from like Oriental Trader, like that kind of stuff that's not the highest quality, but if you need a bunch of stuff for a party. But in this case, it's military hardware. Like they produce cheap military grade.
So not as bad as Wish.com, but
I don't know what Wish.com is.
that's for computer equipment. There's
Oh.
a lot of fake stuff from China, kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it's dirt. I mean, it is dirt cheap
Okay.
by comparison.
There's a lot more than computer equipment. Don't look at it on your work computer.
I have no intent. I've seen enough on YouTube.
I was about to Google it. Thank you.
Just warning you there.
My wife's like, what in the hell are you looking at? I don't know.
Well, it's either that. I was going to reference Discount Dave from the one YouTuber that.
Text.
Text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of similar. This is just like your generic. Yeah, that Wish thing sounds like it. It produces stuff. I mean, they make everything from auto cannons and their rounds and to LRM carriers. I mean, they run the gambit, but it's all cheap junk that if you had to take it into combat, you don't know if it would work.
This is the people that when people talk about how remember your rifle is made by the lowest bidder. This is the kind of thing they're talking about.
Yes.
Precisely.
Yeah. Yeah. So the people that serve in the army, when they see it, this is military grade, they're like, oh, whoa. And then people that aren't in the military, they're like, dude, this is a military grade arm thing. And like, yeah, no, I'm good. That's the type of thing. Yeah, this is the lowest bidder. So just to give you a metagame, like when the Federated Sons buy stuff from this, they don't do it on a regular, but when they do it, the meta says that they aren't allowed to use or utilize them until a team of technicians has inspected every single part of every single vehicle. The repairs are made, and then it's able to use it.
Be assigned to are they the ones that use the RCTs?
The Suns, yeah, that's their thing.
Yeah.
So, sorry, drinks. Yeah, so you recognize that it's just a chintzy company, but yeah, that's the company building that you're able to recognize. The doors don't seem to be prohibiting anybody from coming in there, and you can see a few people coming and going in there. Maybe about 3 people come and 3 people go as you guys stand there out in the street.
Just some casual observation.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I think I'm getting a little hungry. I think I'm gonna check out that diner.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can venture over to the diner.
Yeah, I was just maybe there's a newspaper somewhere we can research, do some digging through their archives. Presuming any of you people know how to read hieroglyphics or whatever other thing they've engraved onto the stone tablets they presumably use here.
Yeah, you kind of go over to the Lily Saloon, and you walk in, and it's more of a diner-esque. You walk in, and there's some seats waiting area, and then there's a whole bunch of tabletops and various people at stations where the waitresses and waiters are serving food. The hostess
something very similar to maybe like a modern, almost like a Denny's or something
very
like that.
modern pop. But for here, it's fancy. So the hostess, she's dressed in a nicer, dress, but nothing like super fancy, but more like a flower print. And she's like, "Can I help you boys?"
I don't know. You guys got some eats here?
Oh yeah. Now, do you have a reservation?
Not yet.
Well, you'll have to be on the waiting list, and that's about 45 minutes if you all want to come back, or if you want to go across the street, and I can give. And she hands you a buzzer. I can buzz you when your table's ready.
I take it something very similar to those little things that flash when you're supposed to.
Yeah, and they're busy. I mean, it's it's getting it's getting close to dinner time.
That sounds very agreeable.
Go check out the pawn shop down the street, I guess, or
So as you guys kind of walk
Nice
out, it's getting close to about 4 or 5, and so as it's getting close, the building across from the Lily Saloon, which is the more like southwestern looking thing, it actually is like the doors open and the windows open, and you start to hear people shuffling around in there, and as the sun's starting to set, the lights are starting to come on. It's actually a really nice. It looks more like something you kind of see. It's not as nice as like a Southwest thing that you maybe see in like Austin, Texas, or San Antonio, but it definitely looks like it could be. It could have been in its heyday a nicer building. And
Go in there and check it out.
yeah,
Does it have like a sign or anything to indicate what it is?
nope.
Nice and sketchy. I like it.
Nice and good.
All right, I guess we don't have anything better to do.
So you walk across the street, and as you walk in, there's a big burly looking guy, and there's another, he's about maybe 5'8", trim, but you can tell he's fit, and he definitely could probably handle himself. And
Evening, sir.
the larger one looks at you, he's like, "Can I help you?"
Just looking for a good time, boys. Is this where we can find it?
Well, of course.
Well then, yeah. Good talk.
Yep. We ain't open yet.
Oh, when do you open?
Well, we open in about 45 minutes to an hour. Depends on when the girls are ready. Wolf, are the girls almost ready? And the other guy kind of looks at him, doesn't say anything, kind of just kinks his head like to the side, like, Wolf says they ain't ready.
That dang wolf.
Now, these guys
Always
have stats, too.
party pooper.
Well, they have stats, just FYI. So if you try to, just letting you know.
Put my knife away.
Just they're not random name generated people.
How about is there anything we could do to maybe we can go help the girls get ready? We just really want to avoid the crowds. That's what we want to do.
Y'all military folks,
This is the pawn shop, right?
No, this is the what's the word I'm looking for?
The first
The
floor.
brothel.
Oh, first floor collider.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the brothel.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going in there. I'm just gonna hang
Yeah, but
out.
just like outside of game, I'd rather get and talk to chat with these girls. They're gonna know more about the workings of everything else before.
That's
So that's what. So yeah, so backing up, I'm just gonna try to be like, is there anything I can do for you or Wolf, or I could tip a little extra?
And Wolf kind of looks up. You kind of see him thinking, and then he nods at the other guy, and he goes, "Wolf says, Hunter, will get you in a piece."
how much money we got on those guys?
You guys have about 500 in cash, I'd say, a piece, just as regular walking around money that you would have.
Yeah. Well, I'll flip them 100. They'll be like, you guys coming in too, or you guys gonna hang back?
No, I'll let you go on this one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hang out with Dawes a little bit.
All right. Well, you're lost.
Yeah, I think
Alright.
I'm actually hanging out. I'm going to stay in the waiting area of the diner just to simplify matters, I guess.
So you walk in. Yeah. So you walk in. So it's about it's all the lights are on. It looks dingy because all the lights are on. It's one of those things when you go to a club or whatever and they turn the lights on. You're like, what am I doing here? And there's about, I'd say, 15 girls, a couple of guys that are scurrying about, cleaning, getting stuff ready. Some of them are in the process of getting dressed. And this older lady, she's about mid 40s, late 40s, red hair. She kind of saunters up to you, and she kind of looks back at
Ginger, is
you,
it?
and she's like, "Well, howdy. What are you doing in here? We're not open yet."
I know, I heard, but I just wanted to get some time. I'm not a big fan of crowds, so I want to make sure I get some time with one of your fine young ladies. Before I get all those people crowding me and I can't breathe. We don't want that.
I don't think you. I don't think you need to roll charisma. I mean, it's pretty. It's kind of a standard. Well, it's gonna cost you extra because I need my girls getting stuff ready. Unless you want a boy.
I'll stick with the girl.
Okay. So what you have here is it's $100 an hour for the first hour. You pay for an hour, and then it's $100 every 15 minutes inside of that hour.
That's steep. Yeah. All right. Well, here's 100,
Okay.
and we're gonna make this easy. You pick the girl for me.
Oh, well, in that case, that's too easy.
Wanna get a
Songbird,
discount?
Songbird, come on over here, Missy. And this, she looks like maybe she's about early 20s. Give me a perception check.
So 10.
What'd you say?
Do you hear me?
No. Did you say a 10?
10. Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, she rolled a 10, so the tie will go to you. She looks like she's holding her stuff together barely. You could definitely tell from her face she does not want to be here, but she takes you by the hand and walks to her room where it says Songbird, and she walks in and there's a bed and some like cheesy curtains and some like a wash station, and she's like, "Well, why don't you wash up and I'll be in just a minute. Anything particular you want, sir, gentlemen, whatever you would like me to call you?"
No, nothing in particular. You can just call me Ironhead.
All right, Ironhead. I'll definitely call you Ironhead.
All right, well, you go. I'll be done in a minute, so come on back.
Okay. So she goes behind like one of those little half walls, and you can hear like from the ruffling she's probably getting changed into some type of outfit for you or whatever, and she's washing her hands in the sink there. There's a sink to your right. There's the bed, and there's a chair, and then there's a little liquor bar right to your right next to the sink.
All right, well, I want to wash my hands, make myself a drink for the two of us, and I'm gonna sit down on the edge of the bed and wait for her to come out.
Okay, so yeah, she comes out. She's like, "So, what are you in for? What would you like to do?"
Oh, nothing in particular. Why don't you just sit on down, relax, take the load off.
Oh,
We're just gonna have a drink. I'm gonna hand her the drink.
Confused, and so she takes a drink, and she's visibly uncertain. She's like, Okay.
All right, listen, we're not here to do whatever it is that you normally do. I need to find out some things about this world, and there's a lot of people that I don't seem I can trust. But you have that kind of face where you might look like you want to tell me the truth about what's going on here.
Is this a test?
This is no, Tyler Durden. This is not a test. This is just one-on-one. Yeah.
Yeah, give me a
I'm-
will
I'm-
or a charisma roll to kind of convince her to that like you're not out to kill her.
Eight.
Okay. You said an
Like
8.
I'm out.
So yeah, she rolled a 6. Well, I mean the general stat of all the workers. So she actually starts to believe you. She's like, well, I'm originally from a small planet. I mean, population-wise, in the Capulin Confederation, and well, my parents they owed money, and so what the governor did was he took me as a payment for my parents' business that wasn't producing enough for the chancellor. So here I am paying off their debt.
One, I'm sorry you have some crappy parents. Two, are you the only one, or are there? I'm assuming there's a few more of you, like your situation running around.
We're all here. Me, the workers, everybody here is some type of indentured or slavery or something. My
And by
best friend was
you all,
sold
you
to.
mean like the bartender down the street?
Well, some of the people are local workers that just work here, and they know what's going on, but they just know it's business.
All right. Let's see. How about after you get off of work tonight, tomorrow morning, you come meet with me. I'm going to bring you, we're going to talk to my friends. They're across the street. We're going to go to dinner. Hopefully it's a nice joint. Never been there before. And we can discuss ways of helping you out. Does that sound something you like?
Well, what about Sonny?
Well, you and everybody else. But we need to get all the details about what's going on here first.
But what I'm saying is, last time someone tried doing this, Sonny just hung him up and just made an example of him, right down there. You can see the gallows.
See, I don't think they'd be able to hang my horse. See, it's really big, this horse.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything around here that could hang that horse.
Bull they have 4 battle mechs and 5 tanks and a whole bunch of soldiers.
Oh,
You
well then
hard.
now that's gonna make it interesting. That's a lot of fun.
I mean, one of those battle mechs, we saw it, and it decimated almost 50 people in one shot. It was horrible. But
They were
didn't
standing
make
too
their
close
quota,
together.
and since they didn't make their quota, that's what they earned, and that's what they deserved.
Don't you worry, we have bigger mechs. All right.
And her face is like one of hope. It almost makes you want to cry because of like the hope, and like she actually has a tear streaming down her face, and she's like,
The one tier.
"I can make it one more night."
That's all I'm asking. What time are you gonna be? What time will you finish this evening's services?
Well, we usually finish up around dawn.
Dawn, excellent. I'll be right across the street at the diners. I'll be right on the front stoop.
Okay.
And then I don't know. I'll have one more. I'll give her another drink, and then I'll head on out.
Yeah, she just chugs it. You can see there's almost hope in her eyes, and she just drinks it to like bolster that hope.
Oh, I should ask. What's your real name? I'm assuming it's Sunny something Dale's not your real name.
Well, Songbird, my real
Songbird.
name is Virginia Quinn.
Regina Quinn.
Yeah.
All right, Regina.
No,
I'll see you at
Virginia.
Sunday.
Virginia.
Oh, Virginia. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see you at dawn.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, I'll give her a nice pat on the back and head on up.
All right. Yeah. So let me just do two more. Let me do 2 rolls to see if anything. All right. Yeah, she's able to keep her crap together, and she doesn't tell anybody or visibly give any signs that something else is up. So you walk back downstairs. Everything's the lights are dimmed. It's a little bit more mood, and Ginger walks up to you. She's like, "I hope that she was satisfactory."
A time I'll never forget. Thank you
That'll
so
be an
much.
extra $100 because you're only in there for 15 minutes. It's good to be so fast. Save
Yeah.
some money.
That's true.
So yeah, she's like, you get this visibly like creeped out sense as you walk out the door. Like it's just that like when you leave somewhere where you shouldn't be.
Okay. Well, I'll go meet up with the rest of the guys in the restaurant and talk on the down low about what's going on. I don't want to be talking in the restaurant. So
Okay. So yeah, you guys are able to get in there. You go over there. The hostess seats you at a table, brings you food. It's. I mean, if you think about it, it's an older diner, like in a small town. Like if you guys have any of those near you. Everyone kind of keeps themselves, but it's enough to where you can have a private conversation.
So I'm gonna let them know. I'll be like, all right. So this nice little girl, Virginia, told me she's over here paying a debt for it's not hers. And she said there's a lot more like her throughout, especially this one person named Sunny. So we're gonna help her out. I'm gonna meet her at dawn, and she's gonna come talk to all of us, and we're gonna go. They said she said somebody has like 5 mechs and a few battle tanks.
Yeah, it should be easy enough to deal with.
Yeah. I just don't want to. I don't want anyone getting caught in the crossfire. So we gotta have to figure out. We're gonna have to figure out where they are, so we can kind of surprise them, maybe. But we'll have to get some.
Is this a corporate-owned force, e.g., like the corporate entity that's here, or is this like a private militia kind of situation here?
Yeah, I don't know. She didn't say. She just said that she is being held here basically against her will, paying off a debt of her parents. And somebody tried doing this before, and they were made example. And so we're gonna not be another example.
Yeah, obviously we're not going to be another example. Well, we'll be a different example because
Exactly.
we're going to cleanse them for the way.
Quicksell might be slipshod, low quality, put together badly, if at all, but slavery would be low even for them. I'm not sure if they're connected with this. I'm gonna go to the office.
The question still
Suppose
needed
we
to
could
be
always
asked.
look around and find out, though.
Yeah, so you guys finish up eating. It's dark out. There's street lights that come on. They're all electric street lights. All the other buildings are lit up with electric lights from the solar panel batteries. And the brothel house is happening. There's music coming out. There's a lot of people coming into town. And then what you can see around you once you exit is you can see off in the distance little like groupings of lighting of what could be towns, could be something, but there's definitely something there.
Are the lights on?
All the little
building?
company towns or something along those lines.
Yeah, exactly what they are. But yeah, so then as you guys kind of exit, you also notice, give me perception. No, it's going to be obvious. You see armed infantry officers, like, not in riot gear, but they're definitely, like, they're armed with rifles, and they're not in, like, really pristine uniforms. You kind of see a patch that's a bull, and there's like a battle mech behind it, and it's like a bull head, like kind of like the Chicago Bulls kind of symbol. Like a head of like an older Warhammer, just your generic battle mech looking symbol. And they're walking up, and it looks like they've just got like hardcore, like laser rifles or like full blown bolt throwers. Like nothing like non-lethal. Like they'll kill.
I wonder if that's the security for whatever's the shady stuff around here. It's up to you guys. You guys want to go talk to him, or do you guys want to avoid him?
I'd say we ignore him.
Yeah, you can go back to your dropship. You can go into something at night, or you guys can fast forward to the meeting with Songbird or Virginia.
Is the
I'll
Quickstell
do.
building still open, or are they lit for the night?
That is closed down. Yeah, that's not lit up at all.
Yeah, the only question that would be pertinent to me, and I'm not sure I'm willing to ask them directly, would be if they are related to the corporate entity. And
I mean, if the Quickstell building's not closed,
Yeah, it is.
there's another way we could get that information. Just
I mean, you could try to sneak in the building and slice into, to hack into some of the stuff, and do a little covert op mission if you want. Or
that's what I'd like to do. Poke around a bit there.
Okay.
do we actually, since I do have my little note computer, do I have a sense that they have a wireless access point by any chance?
Yeah, I mean you can pull it up, but it's all kind of closed circuitry. There's nothing. I mean, if you get on, it's more of that guest Wi-Fi or that the corporate non.
In
We're
other
not
words,
gonna get into
their
anything
SSID is
sensitive.
not
Yeah.
being broadcast. Fair
Well, if
enough.
you guys want to go, sneak in the back, pop a lock, I'll be lookout up front. Keep an eye on the street for you.
Yeah, seems good.
I think I'm going to head. I'm debating some stuff. I'm kind of, as Felix is kind of just sort of
crap.
not seeing an SSID. All I'm seeing is guest access for the wireless, which means they may not even have that actually active. If they do their security right, they probably wouldn't have it without being physically at a terminal inside the building.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you've determined.
Yeah, and to be fair, a lot of the mumblings, what I would consider out of character mumblings, is actually some of the stuff that I know in real life. So it's not like that's where it's okay. I'm trying to maybe use some of my knowledge, my own personal knowledge, and try to assist with the role play aspect of this.
My character has like hacking skills, so if we can get in there, I can probably get inside their computers and poke around a bit.
Yeah, let me just get us a secure Wi-Fi connection, and whatever you do get, just make sure you kind of CC me on it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I would, bust open it, just crack open a door somewhere and hack into someone's computer.
And I don't know about you, I'm not looking for anything more than whether that insignia is related to this company or not, as far as this what appears to be local security forces.
All right, so you guys gonna break in?
Yeah.
All right. Let's. Yeah. So.
I'll help with maintaining the watch out front, I
Okay.
guess.
So I'm just gonna do a time.
I guess
check.
I'll go in with them then.
Okay, I'm cool to keep going. You guys cool to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right. Cool.
should be pretty quick.
Yeah. So you guys are. Who's looking out? Where you position yourself? Let me.
Well, I'll be breaking in since I actually have the skill to hack their stuff.
Okay.
I can maybe use maybe one person with me and then the other guy's keeping watch on the front and the back.
So I'll go with you.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll take
I'll
the
monitor
front.
the front.
And then I'll take the back.
All right. So we head out the I guess like the back entrance or somewhere.
Yeah, so you walk around the back, and it's there's your typical corporate back. There's a loading dock, there's a ramp to a big garage door. There's a normal door. Are you guys trying to sneak, or are you just walking right up to it?
Like what kind of does it have stuff like security cameras and
Give me a
whatnot?
tactics, or if you have a perception, or if you have like any type of.
I have tactics and I have perception.
Okay, yeah, whichever one's higher.
I have tactics.
Tactics is
Oh, who just rolled a natural 12?
Oh, that was me.
8
Boom.
plus
All right.
16.
All right. Whoever rolled the natural 12, you notice that there's cameras, but you can tell that they're chintzy junk, and they're probably not going to record if you just kind of, because they're pointed at one way. But you also notice that there's several of them, there's no lights on them, and they're obviously powered off. And you're easily able to, because you rolled a 12, I'm going to say you easily walk up to the door. You're able to kind of like jimmy the frame almost and just bend the frame out a little bit and kick the door in a little bit, and it opens up fine.
That
I
is
was thinking of like just putting a
construction.
laser rifle round through the security camera hard drive before we leave, but
Yeah, you can do that too.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say maybe up front the cameras work, but back here it's it's a they're not.
It's
doing
quick
much.
sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's their own products.
Nice.
So yeah,
First time in my life I've been happy with quick sell product quality being what it is.
So you walk into the back, and it's just
Fun terminal.
it's cement floor, kind of some rafters. There's some trash bins. There's a computer terminal for maybe like sending and receiving. There's some boxes. There's obviously you got one door that goes up to the front office area, and then there's a freight elevator that goes up the 3 stories that the building is, and then there's the emergency exit to the far right.
We
And there's-
probably want to poke around at like one of the office computers. Probably like the secretary might not have the kind of access we need.
Yeah, so you go in the front area. You walk in. It just looks like a sea of cubicles. Up
Yeah.
front, towards where the main entrance is, you see a security desk, and there is a security guy there, but he looks fast asleep.
So what happens if you hit someone with a stun stick when they're already asleep? Does that just make them more asleep?
I would just say they're not going to roll. As long as you roll a sneak to attack them, you get no resistance, and they just are automatically out.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty fast asleep. He's an older gentleman. Not that there's anything wrong with a 70-year-old person, but he's asleep at this hour of night, so beat a 7 to sneak up to him.
All right, and that's reflex.
I would say reflex unless you have, if you have, martial arts, or if you have any type of...
Does who's with me?
That's me.
Do you have any of that?
No.
Okay, then I'll go for it. 8.
Okay, yeah, so you kind
he
of do
goes.
it. You trip over a few things here and there. You kind of, and then goes back to sleep. And you just hit this poor old man with the stun stick, and he just slumps over in his chair. So as you hit
He'll
him
be
with the
fine.
stun stick,
Probably.
maybe McLeod kind of you reach out to make sure he doesn't face plant or something. So he kind of slumps over, and you guys kind of able to, and his computer screen's still up, and the system functioning is still up as far as the basic who's allowed in and out that you would see at a card scan computer that they normally have. You could definitely get into that. It's turned on. He has an employee ID on him. He's got a small laser pistol, and he's got some other things on his little belt. And a
Yeah, I'll grab his
walkie-talkie.
ID and his laser pistol, and then we'll head up to the offices.
Okay. Yeah. So there's 2 escalators. One's going up. One's going down. They're still running, so you can easily take it up to the kind of the executive floor, to the second floor, where there's a fountain, and then there's about 5 offices that take up this thing. And there's a big in the center of it is a round desk where there's 3 seats and 3 computer stations, and then there's the 5 executive offices.
I'll pick one of the. I'm just from where I am laid out. Would any of those offices be facing the front of the street, or not, or rather not be facing the front street?
Yeah, so there's one. So like as you come up the escalator, there's one right in front of you that would be more to the side and the back, and then there's one to the left. It's a giant one, probably like the more CEO level, that takes up the whole front to the left after the other escalator, and then there's 3 more that are kind of kitty cornered that line the back wall.
I'll go to the ones in I'll go to one of the ones in the back, so I don't want to risk having any lights or anything be visible from the street.
Okay. Yeah, there's still some, like emergency lights, and there's still soft lighting that they usually have on. And you're easily able to, like, the doors are not locked, and you walk into one office, and obviously the guy, is got, he's a fan of battle mechs. He got all sorts of battle mechs, posters across the various things. From judging from it, it just looks like he might be a fan of weaponry or war, or it might be an R&D. You can't really tell. If you want to give me a perception check, you can kind of do a little bit more. Or you can just go.
I don't think I really need to know more. I'll just focus on the cracking into the system.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be...
And hacking is plus intelligence, I assume?
Yeah, in a trait if you have it.
Yes, I have hacking, and then I have intelligence,
So that'd be a 17.
Oh, yeah. So let's see. The 10 that the system has. So he is you're able to access his system. You log in. He is one of the quality control R&D type person where they just have the plans that are pre-existing and try to keep them functioning to it. And so it looks like the last thing that he was working on, that when he closed his system, was the output from the autocannon plant on planet, and also the autocannon, like actual autocannon weapon planet or a plant on there. And it looks like there's a bunch of problems, and they're trying to fix it by reducing the grain and the need for the powder, and trying to really cut costs. But then also
I'm just kind of blown away by Quickcell having a quality control guy at all.
Yeah, I mean, basically, his whole purpose is, they try to make them as cheap as possible without blowing up the first time they're shot. Now, the third time they're shot really doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, I think, based on at least for how things are where I work, people might have access to like more department specific stuff, but for like general information, that should be available to just about anyone. So I'm going to look into like anything like anything related to like their security, who they hire.
Okay.
Maybe check that. Maybe try and grab anything financial. See if they're involved in the whole debt trading thing.
Okay.
I'll just download that data. I'm not going to stay here and look at it. We can look at that later on the ship.
So yeah, it'll take you about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how much data. If you want to just download as much as you can, it'll take about 10 minutes. Meanwhile,
Yeah, I'll
who's out front?
That'd be me.
So
Cool, Felix.
out front, you're kind of just, what are you doing? Tell me what you're doing.
I'm just pulling that. I'm leaning against the buildings, kind of observing.
Guy in a very
Just
slick
kinda-
looking, he's got black trousers, a black vest over a white shirt. He's got a definite cowboy hat that's kind of a little bit more flat brimmed. Howdy. What you doing out here?
I'm just observing.
Oh, I see. You're not a bull, are you?
No,
Where are you from? I've never seen that military emblem before, or icon.
I'm a knight.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Well, Okay, you're a knight. Okay. All right. So you're one of those. And he just keeps walking, whistling. And he walks over to the building next to you, which is the sheriff's office.
Is there a problem?
Are you going to say that as he's walking away?
Yeah. It's like,
And he kind of turns back as he's like, kind of keeps backpedaling. He's like, nope. You can be a knight. I can be your huckleberry. You can be a knight. I'll see you later.
yeah, probably not. I'm gonna have to pull out the stun stick. Just kind of gonna have to do this for your own good, sir.
Oh, you.
Like,
You gotta roll on that, dude. I'm gonna pass out. You roll. So you're gonna try to stun him?
yeah, the stun stick is coming out, or actually more like the sonic stunner is coming out.
Oh man.
Because if he's already approaching next door, that's gonna put him out of melee range.
All right, we gotta roll on it then.
Fair enough.
You gonna tell your colleagues that you're about to engage in hand-to-hand combat with some random guy walking?
His reaction is pretty much a trigger of, yeah, he thinks there's something suspicious, and therefore he's going to go get what he considers to be the appropriate authorities, and we don't need that involvement right now. That
I mean, I suppose we at least have the funds available to bail you out.
well, I mean, I kind of.
No, we were bailing out our friends who started a brawl with some guy. I have no idea about a break-in in the facility.
Hey, I do have McLeod. What are you doing? I mean, so while he's hacking, what are you doing on the second floor? Or are you on the first floor? What are you doing?
No, I'm on the second floor with him. I'm just kind of.
I could have you go and like
Standing.
yank out. I could have you go and like find the security recordings and rip out that hard drive.
I mean, I can do that, but chances are I will break everything as I try.
So yeah, are you kind of like managing? Like, are you looking out like towards the street? Are you doing? What are you kind of doing?
Mostly I'm checking the doors, seeing who's coming in and out, but trying to keep my eye towards the windows too.
Okay,
But
so
mostly
give me
focused on people coming in the building.
Yeah, give me a perception check to see if you see your buddy about to whip. About to stun stick.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! You got another 12.
A natural 12?
Yes.
Wow. Dude, man, that's awesome. All right. So, as you're kind of like glipping around, you look down and you see Lance, some guy talking to Lance, which piques your attention, and you kind of like step maybe.
Lance is me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Felix. My bad. That's the problem. I don't get the names underneath everybody. Sorry. So Felix is talking to somebody, and you notice that the guy starts walking away. Felix starts like talking to him again, and the guy's like, okay, and then you see Felix's hand reach for his stun baton, and the other guy, noticing that he's reaching for his stun, he's flipping his jacket back to have two revolvers that he's about to pull. So a knit would be appropriate for McLeod and Felix. Unless Felix is going to notify your team.
So I got a 14.
Okay.
Works for me for a knit. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, he got a 13, so you guys will have a knit. Yeah, so Felix, man, what are you doing? Or McLeod.
I'm attempting to close the distance. I'm not going to actually pull the stun baton. I'm just kind of like what you noticed before was just me kind of reaching for it. But I am definitely going to attempt to close the distance.
Okay.
So
and kind of get all chummy with him, like kind of, hey buddy, how's it going? Stab, or stun him with the
Okay. But you're not going to stun him this turn?
no.
Okay.
I'm still looking. I'm trying to be not threatening per se, but it's like, yeah, there's a sense of urgency to my movement with regards to, yeah, we don't need the local law enforcement involved.
All right.
Kind of thing.
And McLeod, what are you doing?
well, I'm guessing I can tell since I got that pretty good perception there. That bullets aren't about to start flying immediately. So as I shout to Dawes, tell him, hey, you need to hurry up. We ain't got time for this. Get what you got, and we got to go. And I just take off, slide down the escalator, and just try crashing through the front doors.
Okay, yeah, so you're able to do that. Next turn, you'll be outside. And then, so his turn, so Felix, faster, like as soon as your hand goes to your stun baton, like all of a sudden there's 2 revolvers pointed at you that are old antique slug throwers. And he's like, I said I could be your Huckleberry Knight. Now, I reckon you're going to come with me. Or these oldies are going to be talking. So come on, Knight. You can put your sword, you can ride your horse, whatever you want to do, but you're walking towards me and you're going to see the sheriff.
Have I broken a law?
And he cocks his revolvers. He goes, "You're just about to pull whatever you got in your pants there on me. All I was doing was talking, and you're looking really shifty with some foreign type of military outfit on. So you all need to come. You need to come with me."
Fair enough.
So he leads you over and into the sheriff's office, and you kind of go through. It's a door. It's an old wooden door, but it's air conditioned inside, so it's this like sweet relief. Let me pull up the sheriff's spec here real quick. So as you walk in, there's a guy. He's about 6 foot, short cropped hair, kind of sleeping at the thing. And as the door opens up, he sees the weapons drawn. He's like, "Doc, what in the hell are you doing with? And who is, sir? What, Doc? What is going on?" And then Doc is like, "Well, looks like we got somebody doing some weird things, and he almost pulled a weapon on me, Tex. So I figured he should be talking to the sheriff." And
I never drew anything on you, sir.
you see a sheriff symbol on him, and he kind of stands up. He's like, "Oh, all right, put the guns away." And he kind of pulls out his smoke and lights up a cigarette. "My name's Sheriff Tex. What's the pleasure, good sir?" And he takes a drag and he extends his hand out.
I'll shake his hand. I'm not that way.
And then the other guy, "He is a knight." Mm-hmm. "Oh, you're a knight, huh? Is that so?"
I'm on assignment for the Knights of the Way that lead the way.
Knight. You're a knight, huh? Who leads the way? You've been on them drugs?
That's the name of our unit, yes.
And as you say the unit, and he kind of... Unit? What about this unit? By this time, McLeod, you're sprinting. Are you going to bust into there?
Yes.
Okay.
I saw him go in with the guns pointed at him. So yeah, I busted the door with my gun out.
Okay. Man, as soon as you bust in the door, like you kick the door in, and as you walk in, you just see 2 basically revolvers pointed at your head, and he's like, "Hi, I'll be your Huckleberry. Now, why don't you be a good lad and lower those pistols or that gun, whatever you got? I don't know what you got.
Yeah, you got an auto pistol.
Yeah, lower that pistol. We'll have a nice conversation. Hey, Tex, looks like we got another one. Are you a knight too?"
So yeah, and I don't know who you are, but I don't lower my pistol until you lower yours.
And Tex kind of looks at him. All right, everybody, calm down, calm down, calm down. Everybody lower the pistols. And Doc, he's like, "Doc, lower them. For God's sake, we don't need to be shooting people." All right.
Everything is under control here. We don't need the guns out.
What are you all doing around
I'm
the
saying that
Quicksilver
to
building?
I believe it's McLeod. I'm saying that's a hit to him. Everything's under control. We don't need the guns out.
What are you all doing here? And what are you doing standing outside the Quicksilver building?
I'm
Obviously-
simply observing. All I was doing was simply observing the local. I believe it was referred to as the Bulls before by the doctor.
Are you all working for the Bull?
I'm simply gathering intel on them. I don't know who the Bulls work for.
They work for Quicksilver. Where have you been? And what are you all doing here?
We're here on assignment. We're here looking into some of the rumors concerning human trafficking and or slavery.
And you see this, like, it goes from may or may not get in a gunfight to this, like, sign of relief. And, like, he's like, "Well, yeah! Hot dickety darn. Y'all made it. They got my request. Whew. Okay. All right. They sent 2 people. Is that what y'all's dropship? Is that y'all?
It is. And we are a unit of 4. 5.
All
Sorry.
right. Y'all, now they have 4 battle mechs.
That will not be a problem.
All right. Well, welcome to Tombstone.
Thank you.
So, where's the rest of your team? On the dropship? Or I hope they're not sampling the good services across the street, of which I saw you patroning earlier.
I highly doubt it. My guess is they're likely at their dropship right now.
You gotta give me a perception roll because you're totally lying right now. Charisma, or if you got protocol, I would take protocol too. 'Cause that's-
I would imagine that by the time he's done having this conversation, I probably have finished downloading the data.
yeah, I would say by
There's the boxcars.
Out of the building.
Yeah. So he rolled a 14 to kind of see through your bull crap.
Yeah, I got the boxcars.
Oh, yeah, he's buying it. Well, all right. So we'll come back to you, Ironhead and Lance. What are you guys doing then?
I'm probably going to keep. Probably as soon as he gave me that warning, I'd probably cancel downloading anything that looked dubious or like probably wouldn't be a lead. Focus on the important stuff.
Okay.
And then as soon as that stuff's downloaded, erase the security footage, and then leave.
Okay. Which way are you going, out the front or the back?
Out the back.
Okay. So yeah, you come up. Ironhead's out there. You guys, there's no one really happening. The guard is still out. The poor guy. But yeah, now half
Are
of your
laser
team-
weapons silenced by default, or do they make noise?
lasers?
Yes.
So in the movies, they always make laser. I don't know how lightning sound, but yeah, I mean the crisping of the night. I would say that they make a little crackle noise.
Okay, but like something that would stand out with all the other noise.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think a laser pistol would not draw too much attention.
Okay, well, that's good. I just set the laser pistol and the ID I grabbed and to just blast those to ashes with my laser rifle, so I don't leave any prints or trace on them.
Okay, yeah, you do it outside. There's a little cloud of smoke from the weapon melting, the heat from the laser melting it, and what have you. Yeah, so you guys, your compadres are in the sheriff's office, and you two are out back.
Did you find everything you were looking for in there, Lance?
We'll know when we get back to
The
you know where
dropship?
the others got off to? Felix ran out, said Ironhead was up to something.
Oh no, I've been back here doing nothing. Staring at dirt.
Let's get back to the room and we'll figure out where they got to in the morning. Maybe establish an alibi in case old geezer out front remembers anything.
All right. Well, I gotta wait for Virginia at noon. So you want to grab a room at the Red Dog, right?
Yeah, you can get a room at the Red Dog, or you can ride your horses back to in the middle of the night, pitch black, with no night vision goggles.
Let's
Yeah,
go to
no.
the Red Dog because I think running out of town at night would be a little bit suspicious.
That's for sure. And stupid because we could get lost.
And I can poke around. I can poke around through the data we've collected on my PC while we're in the room.
And we can grab a drink. All right.
All right, so it's 10:30. It's a good stopping point, I think. Right after the interaction with the sheriff's office, if you guys are good with that.
Yep.
Works for me.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
which way are you guys going to go out from the building to get to the Red Dog? Are you going to cross kind of like between the two buildings, where you go in front of the sheriff's office, or are you looping around? What do you?
Yeah, I think we'd probably like walk along this back alley and then like come out between the bank and the general store.
Okay.
That works.
Okay, so back to the sheriff's office. You guys are, the sheriff Tex is kind of there. He's kind of like, okay, so this is the rundown. We start off as a good opportunity for Tombstone and really Broken Wheel overall. But it turns out this is a Kaplan Confederation organization here in Federated Sun Space. And I reckon the prince would not like some cappies walking around exploiting people, especially selling off girls and boys, and then making these poor souls who are paying off debts, working the mines and the plants.
Yeah, I'm not too keen on that myself.
So I don't know what your unit is here to offer, but Doc over here, he can lend his help via his battle mech, if you know what I mean. He happens to have one, so if y'all are short one, he could be, he loves to say it, he could be your Huckleberry.
I've noticed.
And kind of like Doc is like, what? Like, it's a good tagline.
Hey, whatever works for you. I mean, you got to do you.
Now, it's an oldie, but it still runs, and it still fires. It may not have them fancy PPCs no more, but it still got them large lasers in their arms. And by the way, and
What does the chassis?
he kind of leans into you a little bit, Felix. He's like, it's a knight too, just like you. And he kind of gives you like a little jab.
As in a Black Knight?
Yeah, you reckon that's right, Knight boy?
That's an impressive piece of hardware.
And McLeod he's still a little uneasy about because McLeod like busted in, but with you he's just kind of like jabbing you as like a buddy type thing. Like kind of like afraid of McLeod. He doesn't know why.
Yeah, McLeod's still not real sure about either of these guys in this room.
So Tex is kind of like, so y'all got a leader, or should I just talk to any of y'all about what our plan could be?
Any of us would be sufficient for discussing tactics with regards how to deal with the OPFOR.
Well, it's about to get crazy time, and it's the middle of the night. Boys start running around, women start acting fool. Everything starts going on here in a couple hours, so now's not a good time. But why don't you all meet me out? And he kind of looks around. He's like, meet me at the old plant. Then he gives you a grid coordinates that he writes down tomorrow about noon, and I'll show you what we're dealing with.
Sounds good.
Okay. So yeah, so you guys can get lodging at the Red Dog. It's a madhouse in there. I mean, it's insane. There's drinking going on. There's loud music, just all sorts of craziness. You're able to easily attain a room. Do you want one room for the four of you? You each want one or a room individually?
I'm assuming they're not going to have 4 individual rooms.
Yeah, maybe we could maybe each take 2,
Yeah.
or 2 to a room.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you're able to.
That doesn't seem unreasonable.
Yeah. So you guys are able to bunker down there for the night, and so what you're able to do is we'll pick up with you meeting her in the morning, and then you can take her back to the dropship, whatever you're going to do, and then you'll meet him, and then hopefully the map I have for that will appear next week. I'll test it next week. So that will wrap up our episode for tonight. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We had, let's see how many viewers we had. Let's see. We had, because I saw one on there earlier today, or early in the game. Let's see. Do we have anybody viewing us? If so, give us a shout out. And let's see. No. We had nobody watch us. But it's okay, guys. It's all good. All right, y'all. So so I thought this was violent to do, but I don't know, like ending each game with, the table. But I feel like it's so violent and like just undid everything. So I think I'm not gonna do it that way. I think we'll just kind of let it lie, maybe zoom out and say goodbye to y'all. So have a good night, y'all, and we will see y'all back here at the Gaming Chaplain for episode 2 in the conclusion of Tombstone Battletech Style.